It's Easter Saturday, so in the chronology of the crucifixion, it's the day after Jesus was crucified and the day before he was resurrected. So, from the Christian point of view, basically, when Jesus, after he was crucified and went down into the grave, it says that he went down into the heart of the earth, and down there he had a very specific mission that he was doing. Some people believe this is hell. The Bible doesn't actually say it was hell, it says it's the heart of the earth, and down there are very specific things. It's the realm of various different, well, they're very different realms down there. But from a seer's point of view, as someone who experiences the spirit realm, Jesus has drawn me down into those places to walk around them and see them and witness them and see what's down there from his point of view, really. And so I want to go into a little bit about that in this video, as well as talking about why Jesus went down. So obviously when people die, back then before the cross, and at the cross, the point in time when Jesus unlocked heaven for us, unlocked access into God for everybody. Before then, when people went into what is called the sleep of death, they would go into this place of rest. It's a place where their soul and their spirit would sleep. So in the Old Testament, you see things like the kings of Israel, when they passed away, it says they went to sleep with their ancestors. So they went into that state of being asleep. These Psalms talk about the sleep of death overtaking people in the land of the living. So again, there we get this idea that death isn't sort of the end of something. It's actually going from being awake, being alive, into a sleep. And also in the sort of lower spiritual realms, there's also things called prisons of darkness. These are very, very specific things. They are where the Bible says that the spirits who disobeyed in the days of Noah are chained in chains of everlasting darkness. There's also something called the pit, which we see the demons referring to when they challenge Jesus in the Gospels. And so all these things are really lower realm things. Well, I say lower realm because they're under the land of the living. They're the land of like darkness, death, the absence of light. So Jesus had a mission when he went down to those realms. It says that he went down to preach to those spirits. But what was he preaching? Well, his heart really was to connect, first of all, those who would come back to God, to connect them back to God. And we see that in the Gospels that at the crucifixion, suddenly people came out of graves. They were resurrected from the dead. They came out of the sleep of death back into their body and went into the holy city, which is Jerusalem, or was Jerusalem at the time. And they appeared to many people. After that, they disappeared. They probably went up into paradise. There's another realm called paradise that scriptures speak about. Jesus mentioned it as well on the cross to the thief. If you want to read that, it's in the Gospels. So, yeah, we get this whole thing where Jesus basically went down and he told these spirits who were down in the lower realms all about why he came, all about what he did, and the good news that heaven was open, that access to God, access to paradise was now free for those who believe in Jesus. So basically in a spiritual experience, I found myself walking among blue rocks. I say blue rocks because that's their color, they were blue, but they were also kind of made of ice. In the spirit realm, materials are kind of, they look like one thing, they also look like another thing, or they can look like another thing. So they kind of look like ice, they kind of look like rocks. They're not ice, they're not rocks, they're something in between. And these are massive caves. They're dark, they don't have much light down there at all, but they're places where souls sleep, and they sleep in death. It's very peaceful, it's very quiet, it's not tortuous, it is a state of sleep. And that's the mercy of God, that when people pass away and they're not going to paradise, they go into a sleep. And there's also another part of that Jesus took me into the prisons of darkness. Now, these prisons are not for humans. You've got to get that very clear, that the sleep is for humans. That's where humans go. They sleep, they rest, they go into that state of peaceful slumber until they're awakened, but that's a subject for another day. But these prisons of darkness is where the evil spirits are, the demons, the fallen angels. There's a whole theology around that, which I'm not going to cover right now. But it's where they're chained in everlasting darkness. And I remember walking with Jesus through one of these realms in the spirit realm, and the entrance was like a huge tunnel, and it went on, and down this tunnel, it was very dark. There were like fire lamps that lit the way down, and Jesus walked with me down, and I asked him why we were going here, and he said that he had to show me the places that he visited when he went down into the heart of the earth. And as we reached the end of this long tunnel, it was about maybe 100 meters long at most, there was a vast open expanse inside. It was a huge sort of vault, basically. In this vault, it had a ceiling, and a vaulted ceiling. It went down maybe 1 kilometer into the depth, and there was a giant spirit chained inside, but it was guarded by an angel of fire. Why an angel of fire? Well, if you look throughout the scriptures, angels they generally appear as fiery beings. So this fiery angel was guarding this place, and inside was one of the they have various names, the Nephilim, the fallen angels, the watchers, whatever you want to call them. It was one of those, and it was huge. I mean, over 1 kilometer tall. These were really big spirits. They had a great authority before they chose to abandon their positions of authority, and now they were chained in everlasting darkness until the end of the ages. And basically Jesus went in, and he would talk to them and tell them about who he was and the purposes of God. It was almost like a lesson to them, because they had it wrong. They thought that the purposes of God was to what they keyed into, really, which was revealing fallen angelic technologies, fallen angelic ways to people on earth. And out of that, we had a lot of really strange spiritual practices come up, a lot of strange attitudes that God had to sort of rectify, really, because it wasn't in line with the Holy Spirit's gifts and the Holy Spirit's way of doing things. So yeah, Jesus would walk into these places, and he would tell them the right way of doing things. It was almost like a reminder of why they were there. He's very gracious, our Jesus. He, even to the darkness, he will be gentle. He will rebuke them, but he will be gentle and stern at the same time. He will not take any sort of, there's no sort of leeway with the darkness. It's like black and white. And yeah, we came out of that place, and he told me that basically he almost goes to those places just to remind those spirits of why they're there, and to remind them of his light and who he is. It's a mystery why he did that. It's a mystery why, and I wish I understood it. It's something I'll hold in tension that I don't understand until he reveals it to me. But I just thought I'd share that little bit of information about what happened when Jesus went down into the heart of the earth after he was crucified and before he was resurrected. So happy Easter. I hope you found that interesting.